Gunther.
Here.
Sethy.
Here.
Weed.
Here.
And Huang.
Here. Sethy, Dr. Gunther, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So next is public comment. So, let's see, member of the public may address the board on any issue not listed on the agenda?
No, actually, this is a special board meeting, so just...
Right, it
yeah.
should be listed on the agenda.
I apologize for
Sure.
that.
Member of the public may address the board on any issues listed on the agenda which are within the purview of the Alameda County Water District. A 5-minute limit is customary. However, the board, I may grant longer minutes since there's only 2 of you. I think 4 to 5 minutes. Members of the public who wish to address the board on this, well, never mind. So step up if you wish to speak to the board. I'm just going to skip the rest of this.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Please give us your name
Sure.
and address
Matt,
if you
I just
wish.
grab a little seat.
By all means.
Okay, thank you. My name's Jim Hansen. I'm the Conservation Committee Chair for the East Bay chapter of the California Native Plant Society. And I attended your very informative workshop on the 17th. And we, as an organization throughout Alameda and Contra Costa County, about 1,000 members were, I think, real interested in this, and of course looking at it from a open space conservation standpoint, but also from your standpoint. And you know, I was looking at the workshop PowerPoint again this morning, and I'm sure you've been doing a lot of work on this, and there's a lot that's developed since then. But it seems like there were kind of some key points, and so I wanted to speak in favor again of watershed protection. And what I kind of went home with and what saw again this morning was that, at least for me, that this was looking at priorities, finances, and rates. Those are all kind of big topics. And in the area of priorities, I don't know, I can think of no more important priority, particularly with the changing climate and all the uncertainties, of increasing the watershed protection, particularly for a piece of land that has come up and sounds like was been very well cared for over 100 years. This is, of course, a rare opportunity. And in these kinds of times, to have the uplands, the watershed, and you're more experts in this, the aquifer protected upstream, I can think of no better investment. In the area of finances, it was very helpful to get the review from the workshop, and I think what I took from that is that you've done an incredible job of maintaining and building reserves, and that you have some policy directives there, that you're concerned about limiting volatility of rate increases, and that you want to maintain the existing programs and commitments. So it's kind of factoring that in from your all's point of view. And then, of course, that fits with rates. And as I remember, scenario 1 at a full purchase was something, I think, it was 8% increase in rates over 3 years, whereas the joint purchase was way down there, and maybe you've even looked at hybrids of that in the area of 1%. Maybe you've even looked at hybrids to keep that rate even lower. I think I voted for a half-cent transportation tax, and there's a lot of them, so I probably voted for one of them. I know they've come our way, and they'll continue to. So looking at all those 3 factors, we are, of course, supporting and strongly supportive of your protecting this as a resource, but also because this resource protects your water supply. And in that light, we having, knowing something, I know one part of the discussion is do we join with others? And besides the financial commitments that could help in terms of how it affects finances and rates, knowing the East Bay Regional Park District, knowing the Trust for Public Land, the Nature Conservancy in the state of California, it's a big piece of land and they bring a lot of expertise and knowledge to that whole endeavor. So we see that as a positive partnership, and of course you're looking at it from finances and all the other factors. So, this is not new information, but we're strongly in support of purchase, and it makes sense to us with a joint sharing with these other partners. And that's really mostly what I have to say today, and I really appreciate your all's work on this. And so thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to address the board? Sir?
My name is Heinrich Albert. I live in the city of Alameda. I am the co-chair of the Sierra Club Water Committee for the San Francisco Bay Area. And I also want to speak on these efforts to purchase this N3 ranch land. So first of all, I want to say that we very strongly support the efforts to get this land and to protect this land, to protect the watershed, to protect the wildlife that's there. And so we appreciate the efforts that you folks have been expending to do this, but we also appreciate the efforts from the other groups that have been working on this. And in fact, it's my understanding, and I don't know for a fact that I have this right, but it's my understanding that you folks are considering going it alone on this. And I would like to speak against that. As the preceding speaker said, the other groups that are involved in this coalition, they really have a tremendous amount of, and I should make clear, the Sierra Club's not involved in that. But there's a wealth of knowledge and experience there that you really should tap into, and they should not be left out of this. One of the things that we would be particularly worried about there would be changes at the Del Valle Reservoir, and please, I apologize for my pronunciation. I know that's not the correct way. We think that we would be very strongly opposed to changing the dam there or making other changes that would result in more diversions of water there. So I just want to make that clear to you folks. The last thing, I understand this is a pretty expensive purchase, and if there's a lot of groups going in on it, well, everybody takes a bite. If you're going to do it all on your own, that seems like a really large financial thing to take on, and I don't know, I'm not one of your ratepayers, but if I was, I think I would wonder how come we have to, carry the whole load here. So that's my bit. Thank you very much. I really appreciate having the opportunity to have spoken with you on this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do you wish to address the board, sir?
Well,
Name and city or address?
certainly. William Urady, Fremont, resident of since '92, therefore ratepayer. Co-founder, Mission Peak Conservancy, activities chair for the Sierra Club. There is an advantage to utilizing multiple groups. It's what both Jim and Heinrich have mentioned to you. The advantage is diversification. To bring in other people means that you have more people to shoulder the financial load. You can also pull in from those people for the technical and or maintenance support that's required on this large acquisition. there's a limited amount of open space available in the Bay Area, specifically East Bay. Mission Peak Conservancy is very concerned about park access. And we've been working to expand park access. So the recent acquisition of the Wool Ranch by San Francisco Public Utilities, we think that's a good thing. This 50,000 acres is huge. We've seen what can happen when landscapes are not protected, and specifically I'm talking about Tesla and the decision by the governor to not support that acquisition and change to a protected status. So if your organization is willing to step up and work with other organizations, we the Sierra Club and Mission Peak Conservancy are absolutely supportive of this endeavor, and we'll work with you as we must. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to address the board today. Do you have additional comments?
No, just
okay. So without any other members of the public wish to address the board? So they're kind of laughing because let's put it on record, that's my husband. So this is independent thought.
Yes. Ken Nishimura, resident of Fremont, therefore a ratepayer. I like that answer. Yes. I was originally not going to speak, but based on the comments from other members, I decided I will synthesize a brief comment. It appears that the board has a choice before it. That is either, I think the phrase was go it alone or go with a coalition. And I also note that several of the members of the public that have come to speak, I guess 2 out of 3, are actually not ratepayers. Right. So my comment really has to do with the board's fiduciary responsibility to its ratepayers. Right. So when you consider your options, it is important that the board consider its fiduciary duty to its ratepayers. There is the concept of public good, and that's fine, but you need to weigh that against the impact to the ratepayers. Because the ratepayers alone are going to shoulder the cost of acquisition as well as the cost of continued ownership, which are not zero, right? I mean, we have all seen the impact of wildfires and the liabilities that are being apportioned to the owners of those lands, and I think it's unreasonable to think that there is a 0% chance of some natural disaster originating from this proposed acquisition. So again, my request to the board is carefully consider your obligations to your ratepayers and make your choices accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you. Any second bite? Hearing none, I guess we will move on to the next item, and thank you very much for taking the time out today.
Thank you.
So, General Manager's report?
The only report I have is that ACWD will be closed on December 24th, December 25th, and January 1st. However, we are a 24-hour operation and 24/7, and therefore there will be available staff should any emergencies arise, and I will be local.
Okay. Thank you. With any other item under General Manager's report?
No other items.
If not, Director's comment and or agenda item request. I know there's one from Director Lee.
Yes, I'm going to notice that there's going to be an appointment to a vacancy on the executive board of the Joint Power Insurance Authority. That decision will be made January 22nd. It would require the support of the board. Up until this past year, ACWD could not have a member on its board, on the executive director, because it required that all 4 of the insurance plans be subscribed by the district. We now subscribe to all 4 of the plans. And if there's anyone else who has an interest in that, but I certainly do, and I'd certainly put that up as bring it to your attention and express my intent to apply.
I would second your move on that if you so desire. I would never have I never would have brought your name forward for, I consider you a friend.
And
But,
put it on, for the purposes of the record, I am assuming that second is to put the item on the agenda
Yes.
at the
Yes,
January
absolutely.
regular board meeting.
Yes.
And we will do that.
Yes, we have two directors requesting the agenda item.
Per board
so
rules,
Per
that's
board
the way
rule,
it's
it
done.
is on the agenda for
Oh,
January.
I don't see
Okay, any other directors'
I
comments?
do.
Director Sethy?
President Huang, I would like to make a request, but I leave it up to your prerogative.
Okay.
In terms of facilitating our closed-door session meeting,
Right.
I've always found it good when we're facing each other,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would like to see if you would agree that Mr. Wunderlich goes to the other side of the table next to the general manager, and that a couple of board members move over to the side so that we're able to have a little bit more of a direct conversation.
Are we having closed session in this room, or are we adjourning to a different
We
conference?
are going to adjourn to the admin conference room, and your
okay.
request can be accommodated there.
Yes.
Okay, I thought we were going to have it here. That was my understanding from the district secretary.
No, we will have it in the admin conference room, and legal counsel will be joining us on speakerphone at least until about 5:15.
Okay,
Okay, well, that's to my reading here.
perfect. Anybody else? Director's comments? Hearing none, let's move on to closed session. Item 6.1 is pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.8, conference with real property negotiators. The property is the N3 Cattle Company, consisting of 131 parcels and approximately 50,535 acres in Alameda County, Santa Clara County, San Joaquin County, and Stanislaus County. Assessors' parcel numbers were furnished by owner's representative and are attached to the agenda, which I will not be reading, 131 parcels. The agency negotiators are Robert Shaver and F. Stevenson. The negotiating parties are the N3 Cattle Company, LLC, Ren Jr., and Ren Jr. I assume PR mean trustees, under negotiation, price, and term payment. With that, we'll adjourn to the administrative conference room.
Yes, at 4:18.
Sure. Item 7. Before reconvening back from closed session, General Manager, can you please do the report out?
Certainly. The board met in closed session and pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.8, they had a conference with their real property negotiators. The property was the N3 Cattle Company, consisting of 131 parcels and approximately 50,535 acres in Alameda, Santa Clara, San Joaquin, and Stanislaus counties. And this is assessment parcel numbers were furnished by the owner's representative and are attached to the agenda. The agency negotiators were Robert Shaver and Ed Stevenson. The negotiating party is the N3 Cattle Company, LLC, REN Jr., and REN Jr. TR. Under negotiation, price and terms of payment, and during the closed session, the board provided direction to its negotiators, and that's the closed session report.
Thank you. And with that, I will declare the meeting adjourned at 6:34. Thank you.